a few things prepped and ready. And besides, fashionably late. That's my MO. Welcome to another Yamato Live. In this case, yet another traditional Whack-a-Harvard, where we look at Kent's Whack-an-atheist for Wednesday, March 19th. Yay, I remembered what day it is and figured it out all by myself. Woohoo! um, all jokes aside, yeah. Um, so we're going to watch last night's video from our friend 0645 2017. However, I wanted to show something that I got a little bit ago, a comment, just for the sake of it. And wow, this is rather. Sorry, I got distracted by the fact that a YouTube tab that I'm about to show is apparently like 800, now 500 megabytes in Chrome, but the damned Rumble tab I got open is like 120 megs. It's like, okay, why does YouTube use so much damn memory? Oh yeah, because it's garbage. Anyway, so we're gonna go to video comments here, and this is on my video. Yep, Kent actually said this, where I just snipped him. Well, you know the video, you all know the video, and I got this comment from some dumbass by the name of Reality Check A1 in reference to this 8-second clip of Kent saying that someone should do something very not nice to themselves, as a reference to a comment they made on the Sir Sick video that Kent was covering. Um, it was a joke inside of that little sphere, but of course Kent had to read it, then go with his sick comment. This absolute ass clown, this fine specimen of just the idiocy that deserves the mockery that I and so many others give, says it was a good comeback joke to a lefty troll. Like, no, if you go back and look at the full video, which again I won't play any of it here because I don't want to have this video contain him saying those words. Even just that basic snippet. You can see that it's people goofing around, people being funny. So it's not directed at Kent, or not that I remember, and even if it is, whatever. But you get shit like lefty troll. It's like, yeah, okay, really showing exactly who you are here. So, this dude can completely slag off. I have to go through the other option. YouTube's funny like that, and doesn't always show you all the little toggles for like just straight blocking somebody. I don't even want their junk comments coming through as engagement. I'll take care of that later. Now for the main event. And let's see, is Restream doing that thing? Let me double check all the stuff. My ones and zeros. Okay, Restream's got it formatted correctly. Let me check the chat before I get going. Got a let's go from my friend Seth. We got a woot from Jess. Got Just Capshaw. Roast the Harvard tomato emoji. Yeah. Loving a good Harvard roast. Zach saying, hey, Zach. Otaku, you ain't missed anything yet. Since when is that in any context a joke? It's just a prank, bro. Yeah, seriously. It's not even a joke. Like this. They clearly do not care for the context of it. They're just, like, I've got to defend Kent Hovind. Because, Kent Hovind can't defend himself, obviously. So he needs all his little goons to get going. And yeah, I just started. So unless you come in now and you missed my little showing off of a complete D-bag of a comment at the beginning, that's all you missed. We are ready to go. So if you're here, you're one of the 11 people here right now. Yeah, you're one of the people here early. Yeah. I thought I had somewhere to go with that one. I didn't. It's been a long day at work, but I'm feeling feisty, so let's do this thing. We've got 35 glorious minutes of garbage from Kent Hovind to watch. And it starts bad. Okay, I warn you right now. They decided to press press play, press record, start the broadcast when Kent's hacking up a lung. So I'm going to mute myself and let's get to it.
What a day. Hello, good morning, good evening, whatever it is. Ken Hovind here. March the 19th, 2025 at Dinosaur Adventure Land in Lenox, Alabama. We're on a bunch of different channels. They took us off of YouTube, so tell your friends if they're looking for me there. We're not going to go back on YouTube. We're on Facebook.
Yes, they took us off YouTube. Yeah, Kent, everyone's coming to my shit now and being like, where's Kent Hovind? I went looking for Kent Hovind, but I just found that tomato guy. Where's the Hovind? And I tell them he went back to hell where he belongs.
On Rumble, on Twitter and X, and we got our own TV show on KentHovind.tv, plus the app.
It's not your own goddamn TV show, you goddamn moron. It's a fucking website that links to streaming, video streaming that's covered through Lightcast. That's it. That's all it fucking is. I don't know what your clowns told you. And the fact that you're paying like $600 a month for that or something is insane. You've got to have something special worked out with them because there's no way you're paying that much and offering the stuff free like you were. Like you are now, I should say. At least when it was paid, you made sense. And yeah, you're reading it right down there. This does say Ray Comfort, ? When it's really just Cyman Dan, spoiler alert. Also, Dino Lamp is still dead. Rest in peace. Someone suggested I do a funeral for the Dino Lamp or a eulogy. I'm going to be working on that this weekend. All right, let's keep going.
Yep, so we'll do that tonight. Whack-an-atheist. Ray Comfort? Oh, no, he's not an atheist. But he's involved in this program tonight, we hope. Okay? You can get a Dr. Kent Hovind TV on all these different, I don't know, iOS and whatever that is, and Apple TV, and just do something with it. Okay, look at that. What do you think? Our new race Jeep. Not quite. And Justin and his wife and their 3 little boys came to work for us a couple months ago, and they're having a blast here. His wife's a nurse, and they had this little Jeep for $2,000, and they go 40 miles an hour. He let me drive. Have you driven?
You ever notice how often Kent has to remind people that everyone has a blast here? Everyone really likes DAL. Yeah. That's a very, very obvious sign of extreme insecurity. And thus, no one's having a good time at DAL. I mean, you don't see me starting every stream being like, look at how popular my streams are, and hey, check out all the hits on my website, and ooh, look at all the posts on my BBS and on my image board. Yeah, everyone has a great time. I just own up that I got a lot of weird places on the internet that, are just kind of off the beaten path and, don't really have much action. But hey, I like running them. As far as it goes. Kent, however, is like, oh, everyone here at Dinosaur Adventure Land has a great time, even though they're all held prisoner. Hovind, don't try to walk out the gate. I put those collars on you for a reason, Hovind.
He let me drive, and I couldn't believe it. Pretty cool. Okay, get serious, Hovind. All right, here we are, March the 19th, Whack-an-atheist. We're an old-fashioned, independent, temperamental, fundamental, right-wing, radical, chicken-eating Baptist church in Lenox, Alabama. Come on, straight north of Pensacola.
Ooh, he said it and didn't giggle. That's a rarity.
70 miles. Be sure to have Trump watch our open letter to President Trump.
Is he going to do this every time for the next 4 years? Going to mention this stupid open letter to President Trump? Donnie Boy ain't going to watch it. He's too busy having fun times with elongated muskrat. All right? Okay? Doesn't care about you. He didn't care about you first term. He ain't going to care about you now. You're nothing. Something you seem to forget is that Trump ain't Christian. We're pretty sure he's actually some level of atheist, and he's just using, the religious right for his own game. That man doesn't give a fuck about anything, especially not you or all your bullshit.
February 1st.
You don't have anything to benefit that would benefit him, so you're worthless. I mean, you're worthless in general, but, to Donnie Boy, you're worthless.
First, go back on February 1st on any of our channels and watch that yourself, and then send it to anybody that says Hovind's a tax protester, Hovind broke a law to go to prison. No, he did not. We want to help President Trump get our school system back like it ought to be. I've written lots of books on the topic. I'm being taught evolution in my biology class, my earth science class. I got all kinds of books on that. I want to help. Folks, we got a problem. And I think the solution is not what they think it is. So If you thought our leap of faith was tall, and it was, you pull that swaying up to the tower and jump off. Have you done it from the top yet, Joseph?
No, sir.
And why not?
I'm busy.
You're busy, right? Okay, busy. I understand. Okay. Well, the new one, the new leap of faith tower, is much higher. Okay, and 50-foot pole.
And you're talking about games we're playing. Y'all can probably guess what game I was playing in the interlude between me getting ready for work and me leaving for work. What I double checked on a bit when I got home, and what I'm going to play after the stream is over. You want to take a wild guess? Just leave a comment in the chat for what game I'm probably playing. The answer might surprise you.
Holes down in the ground. So you go up to level 1, level 2, level 3, 4, 5, 6. When you get up to the top, you say, oh no, what have I done? So, Joseph, you got a picture of me today.
Yeah, you get to the top and realize you're at DAL running on equipment built by a bunch of weirdos, and it's like, yeah, what have I done? I'm pretty sure that's not safe. Did you get building permits? I'm pretty sure, for some things, whatever, but for something like that, like this kind of attraction, I'm sure that crap's regulated, Kent. Oh, when the inevitable happens, don't say I didn't warn you.
Doing video of me doing the zip line off the tower, 300 feet to Noah's Ark. You got to come try our zip line. It is, well, terrifying. Okay, go ahead.
Hooray! I don't know what this camera feed is, but I love it. Oh, look, you can see they got everything. They got Mini Kent down there. They just minimized them. That's great. Picture. I complained about Kent being in picture-to-picture before, but now you're just making a mockery of the situation.
Play it, Joseph.
Oh, it's because they're going to play the video. I'm dumb. And you know what? I knew they were going to play the video here because I clicked ahead a little bit. I'm having too much fun just hanging out with you guys. The Ken Hovind is just a formality. We don't care.
There we go. Suiting up on top of the tower with a little harness that is extremely uncomfortable. And zip line across the property and smack right into the bale of hay with the bullseye on it. No, oh, it's got stopped. We got arrest. We got the same kind of arresting cable system that the aircraft carriers have. Well, not quite the same kind.
Same kind that the aircraft. You mean you got a little cable to slow you down, Kent? Because other than that, it's nothing like what the aircraft carriers have. I used a calculator in 3rd grade that was just like, the fucking supercomputers at NASA. Well, not really. But I mean, if you scaled it up, it would be. This guy.
And when you hit the, is that going to do it again? Oh, look at it. I've been there twice.
That one's Neil.
That's Neil.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I got one more angle if you want to wait for it.
One more. Sure. Come on down. It pulls the weights up into the tree when you hit the arresting cable. It works really, really well. So.
Yeah, that's physics, Kent. That's how it works. And I'm not going to lie, that does look like legitimate fun. And clearly, it at least didn't fall apart. So props, but I have lots of questions.
There goes Neil from the drone footage. There we go.
All the rest of this wasn't drone footage, but this is drone footage. Yeah, I can tell the difference.
There. Pull the weights up into the tree to stop you. It works really. Joseph, are you going to try it? Maybe? After I'm dead and gone? Okay. Amen. Thank you, folks. Come visit Dinosaur Adventure Land. See our place. We're open for free.
Not shown the 5,000 sacrificial babies who went before us.
Join our 777 Club if you want to help us. Support us. $1 a day. We can be your missionary to the blind and the dumb, those who believe in evolution. Contact Joseph's wife, Bobby, 855-BIG-DINO, extension 1, or email drddinosecretary@gmail.com. If you have any questions about that, there we are.
Oh, yeah. The carrier arresting systems are incredible. I don't know which I like more, honestly. The engineering of the arrestor cable setup. I especially find it awesome that the Air Force F-4 Phantoms kept the arrestor hook. Proved useful sometimes during Vietnam. Um, or if I like prefer the launch systems, be it the steam catapults or any of them new modern, or engineered stuff. It's just God, aircraft carriers are badass.
Open for almost 9 years. Next month be 9 years. Whack-an-atheist, I forgot to change the name again. I have creepy blind man in there. He needs whack, but sorry, creepy. You get
Maintenance? What's maintenance? God'll do all the work. Harvard.
a week off tonight, okay? Whack-a-mole game. They stick their head up and you whack them back down. So tonight we're going to whack an atheist. I love whack-a-mole game. I've only played it once, but I like the idea. The atheists stick their head up, smack them back.
Yeah, Action Park. That's all this is Action Park Christian Edition. Except Action Park was an actual theme park, and Dinosaur Adventure Land is a cult compound designed to indoctrinate kids into a death cult. CVN 71. I don't know the names offhand, so I gotta look it up. The Theodore Roosevelt Nimitz class nuclear powered aircraft carrier. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Apparently it was the fourth one built. Awesome.
Down sweetly in Christian love. So many atheists, so little time. Ernest Hemingway was an atheist. Arthur Miller, not sure who that is. Let's see. Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook, is an atheist, claims to be. Jack Nicholson, Julian Moore, whoever that is, Larry King. Let's see.
Oh, Ken Hovind is a Christian. Claims to be. Doesn't feel good when you say it like that, Kent, does it? Maybe you should accept how people identify themselves, because you sure want people to accept your self-identification. Just let it sink in. You might eventually get it.
Brad Pitt, Bill Gates, Sarah Silverman, Bill Maher. So many atheists. The winner tonight, Simon Dan.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was referencing when they run wires on the runway. It was thing in Vietnam. It's like, okay, let's run this stuff, and the arrestor hook that was left over on the Phantom 2 proved really useful in helping with catching on to those things, or so the stories go.
Again, because Ray Comfort, Simon Dan's picking on my friend Ray Comfort. Ray's a friend of mine. He's a great soul winner. Let's see. Here's some, but Simon Dan doesn't.
Kent just wanted to bring up random information. It's part of his I know things tactic, which consists of Kent Hovind saying random things, and thus that means he's right because he knows things. I mean, I know things too, but I'm still wrong about a lot of shit. Not this, though, but other stuff.
Realize it, okay? And he probably never will understand it. He is spreading the gospel for us to his listeners. Somebody on on Ray Comfort's channel commented right here. Simon Dan was actually one of the atheist channels that exposed me to creationist arguments. I was an evolutionist, secular atheist, and these exact mocking reviews of Christians led me to the Lord. And ultimately...
16s and 15s were never aircraft carrier intended, is the difference. Yeah, it makes sense, especially after the benefits that were shown in Vietnam of the Air Force having arrestor hooks, that they would have some included as well. And possibly for cases of emergency carrier landings being necessary. It just makes sense when you really look at it, the big picture.
It led me to people who strengthened my faith. Wild how God works. 65 replies to that. Let's see. Strange admission. So you understood that...
Press X to doubt that comment.
Evolution was a scientific fact and chose to ignore the facts and believe in the error-filled creationist arguments. Well, anybody believes that's a moron, okay? Publicly call you a moron to your face. The creationist arguments are true. God created the world.
No.
The world is not billions of years old. There is no geologic column. There is no fossil record. Tomorrow night and Friday...
Lies. Everything you just said is a lie. I can't believe I'm quoting The Last Jedi. But that line was a good one. And even though he hated doing that film, Mark Hamill did deliver.
Night we'll have call-in shows. You atheists, call in. All you brave keyboard warriors, There is no evidence for
Yeah, it's not like all the keyboard warriors who leave stupid comments on mine and other people's videos, like the one I showed earlier. Yeah, not like those keyboard warriors. No, totally different keyboard warriors, Kent. You know, Dan's a keyboard warrior, and AJ's a keyboard warrior, and I'm a keyboard warrior, and everyone leaving a comment is a keyboard warrior. Yes. Fucking idiot.
your religion of evolution. None. None. Didn't happen. Okay? Let's see. Evolution, the belief that nothing created everything, scientifically impossible. I agree.
Yeah, Chris, that is interesting thing that his past few whackings have been Creaky Blinder, Emma Thorne, um, and Dan, one of the recent ones. Um, it might just be because of how popular the particular individuals are, how relatively condensed their videos are. Lemma's can go kind of long, and it was a real specific one that he went for after her. But like Dan usually runs in 10 minutes. Creaky runs in 10 minutes. They do the sweet spot form of videos. Give them 10 minutes of laughs, give them 10 minutes of some fun, and then there's your fix. Meanwhile, I go for the long haul, which Hovind ain't gonna sit through. He ain't gonna do that. So that's one thought. Plus, Creaky is popular, Dan is popular. Both of them are aware of me, which kind of terrifies me now that I think about it. Yeah, I think it's kind of coincidental, but it's an interesting pattern to notice.
Anyway, I want to play some of Simon Dan picking on my buddy Ray Comfort. Did I get it right here? Yeah, okay.
Yes, but as long as the pilot can survive. Although, at the same rate, if you destroy the aircraft, you might as well just eject. But it may be the safest option. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, but I've heard that is a contingency. I could, again, be very, very mistaken. Let's just look at some more of the lovely comments from my awesome peoples here. I like The Last Jedi. Only Star Wars I didn't like was Attack of the Clones and the first 20 minutes of Rise of Skywalker. I don't hate Last Jedi. I have mixed feelings on it, but I actually like a lot more of it than people generally do. Rise of Skywalker was just Rise of Skywalker was yeah, it no. Sorry, I got Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalker mixed up. Rise of Skywalker, just the pacing killed it for me, and I just couldn't get into it. Plus, it's too damn dark. Um, Force Awakens, I liked at the time, but since then, I've kind of got a low feeling of stuff. I don't like Rey. Just her characterization. Don't like it. Keyboard Druid? Sure. I'm a keyboard elementalist. Which is funny because in Guild Wars 2, elementalists, you're oftentimes you've got the four main elements to F1 through F4 keys. Your main attacks are 1 through 5 key. So you swap between your elemental attunement regularly. It's actually nicknamed playing piano in the community. So me saying I'm a keyboard elementalist actually makes a lot of sense and is really funny in the Guild Wars community. Raw keyboard warriors, unite! You can use the "were you there" argument on Kent. He wasn't there to see God create everything. He couldn't possibly know the Earth isn't billions of years old. Yeah, but he'll pull the Ken Ham. Yeah, he'll pull the "I wasn't there, but I know someone who was" kind of thing. And Aura has classed themselves as keyboard berserker. Hell yeah!
Something really good about genuine.
Everyone, pick your character class. You're a keyboard whatever. Keyboard fanatic, keyboard ninja, keyboard cowboy. I don't care.
Believers. This is it. They don't believe.
Does that mean I'm a keyboard tomato as well? Also, it's weird that we celebrate the tomato meme because, one, I didn't actually realize I enjoyed tomatoes until relatively recently, actually on like a sandwich or something. Like I never liked them before, and then a few years ago I was like, hey, wait, I like these now. And two, Kent's the one who came up with the tomato thing. Oh, right. We turn it around and embrace it. We make it our own thing, so it loses power from him. Excellent.
Believe that the gospel is the power of God unto salvation. They don't know that human beings find everlasting life through the gospel. So in their wonderful ignorance, they present the entire gospel to their unsaved audience, as this gentleman did, for which I'm eternally grateful.
Are there really any questions that evolutionists can't answer?
Yes, Dan, there are thousands of you can't answer. You can't answer how the universe came to be. Where did time come from? Where did space come from?
Time and space are the same thing, and honestly, that question's fucking irrelevant. I honestly, and I don't know how you can't understand this, because it seems like a lot of people who are irreligious kind of hit this. While they find the subject of universal origins to be an interesting one, they don't actually care. In the grand scheme, it's not going to change anything about the way the universe obviously works. So I really don't care. And while in a previous video, the previous stream, I explained my ideas on what the universe, the state of it in the pre-Big Bang epoch, if one can refer to that, since again, time didn't properly exist before cosmic inflation. Just as the thought experiment, I explained what I thought would be the case. My just idea, you know, Planck temperature, condensed down to a singularity in effect. What would quantify as a singularity from our perspective? Planck temperature, essence of stuff. That's all it needs to be. You got everything you need there. Then boom, physics happens. But doesn't really matter. Y'all are obsessed with that idea because you need the chain of, basically a chain of ownership, a chain of custody, if you will, for all the rest of your garbage. Because all your shit has to be absolute. Things can't just be what they are.
Where did matter come from? How did life get started? How did reproduction get started? How did
yeah, you would be very wondering about that. You would be wondering very much about that, I should say. Yeah, Kent, just how'd reproduction get started? Bruh. You call us perverts.
any animal ever learn to make something other than its own kind? It's never been observed. Dan, I'll debate you anytime.
Yeah, you say you know evolution, yet you use a phrase like "How did anything learn to make something other than its own kind?" Hang on, let's look back at his exact phrasing.
Come from? How did life get started? How did reproduction get started?
Oh, there he is being a pervert again.
How did any animal ever learn to make something other than its own kind?
Okay, see, Kent, this is a funny thing because in the case of Homo sapien, where rather as derivatives of apes, which already like to make random things, primitive tools and such, as an extension of that, and us having the brains we have and the opposable thumbs and all that jazz, we come up with ideas and we make them. Because again, what you just said, Kent, how did something learn to make something after its, or how did an animal learn to make something after its own kind? Something, anything. People learn that if you heat up sand a certain way, you can eventually get this clear, flat sheet from it, and they invented glass. You know, you take some particular rocks, mix them with some other particular rocks, flatten them out, shove them into a metal case that's got other crazy rocks, converted over, and some ceramics and stuff. And then you put lightning in it, and you got this thinking machine called a computer. I mean, I'm saying this stuff, reducing it to absurdities, but that's to prove the point of the question you asked isn't what you wanted to ask. And the answer to the question you asked is, 'cause brain, 'cause hands. Your move, cunt.
It's never been observed. Dan, I'll debate you anytime.
Hey, have y'all ever observed anyone making anything that isn't a human? I mean, let me tap this thing. Let me do this on my computer. I got my laptop over here just chilling. Fire up Notepad. Oh, look, I just pushed some keys down there, and look, some text came up on the screen, and that's something new that I made, and that sure as hell isn't human. It is ticks. Yeah, that's not human, but I made it. And yes, I'm being very, very pedantic and petty, and this is a long, overdrawn comedy skit, but, why the hell not? Just rub it in. Rub salt into the old wound that is Kent's horrific neck thing.
Time. Call in anytime, 855-BIG-DINO, extension 4. Book 'em, Dano, okay? I think you're a coward, okay? You won't debate me. I will tear you apart sweetly in Christian love. There is no evidence for evolution. Yes, there are lots of questions you can't answer. But here he goes again.
Probably a few, but most of them I think we can. But
I think you are wrong, okay? I'll prove it to you. Call into my show, okay?
wave after wave of creationist YouTubers think we can't. And it is no different today, as this week on Tinfoil Tuesday, I have a go at questions.
See, Kent? Allie right here is making bracelets to give away at a concert she's attending at the end of the month. There you go. So, what then? Someone just made something that's not human. Checkmate, Hovend.
Evolutionists can't answer. It comes from Ray Comfort, and I'm itching to get started with this one. So
Get some Vaseline would stop the itching. What else stops itching? Dan, please call me or Ray. We'll both debate you. Either one of us.
Oh, God, Ken, it's a fucking metaphor. Also, you really shouldn't speak on Ray's behalf, and Ray is a condescending prick. Not like you aren't, but he's a prick on a whole other level. If you want an example of that, watch King Crocoduck's couple of videos where they directly interact. Ray Comfort is a prick. Deport his ass.
One of us tear you apart. There's no. You're a religious zealot. Is all you are, Dan. There's no evidence for evolution. It's the most dangerous religious cult in the history of the world. Go ahead.
So, let's get going.
Do you believe in evolution, or do you think God made man in his own image?
I'm an evolutionist.
What benefit is a cow to human beings?
There is that egotistical creationist nature again.
Egotistical? Asking what benefit is a cow to human beings? How is that egotistical? I don't get it. I listened to him say that earlier today. I said, what? It's not egotistical. Dan, you...
Kent, your ego's the size of the goddamn moon.
Answer. Are cows a benefit to human beings?
You're so full of yourself, you like the smell of your own farts.
Do you think maybe it was designed that way? Or just evolved? I know, it's just evolved. Millions of years, of course.
Expecting anything to be of benefit to us.
Like air, sunlight, water.
Dan, do you think air, sunlight, and water are a benefit to us? Huh?
Food.
Food?
Get no from them.
You know what else is a benefit to us? And by us, I mean people who aren't you. You going back to jail. Sadly, the prison system, the justice system in Linux seems to have been tied down with some crap. For way longer than it should have.
We slaughter them for beef and for steak and stuff. And leather, yes.
And cheese, and butter, ice cream, yogurt.
Oh, I didn't know all that stuff comes from cows.
Oh,
You know, I just noticed, and I love how the person, it's that Soldier of the Lord 70 again, saying, please don't forget to like and share on Kent's video, is blending with Cassius, says the religious zealot, to where it reads, says the religious zealot, don't forget to like and share. Do it now. Do it now. That's no moon. Please don't forget to like and share. Oh, our friend Cloud is here. Excellent. I'm going to be holding Kent to account. He's despicable. Also enjoy putting up clips of him. Oh, yeah. And, you know, if someone in the audience isn't aware of Claude, you definitely check out his channel, because we just need to constantly keep everyone aware of this particular just nasty specimen of humanity amongst many. Unfortunately, Kent still has a bunch of fools who make excuses for him. Yep. Do it. Go on, Anakin. Or no, good Anakin. Kill him. Kill him now. Do it. There you go. I would have done my Anakin voice, but I don't have an Anakin voice. I just sound like me trying to imitate Hayden Christensen.
talking to the wrong evolutionist, Ray. Give up with him.
Why did evolution do that?
It's a question of adapting to the environment. Cows evolved to survive.
They didn't used to have leather. Is that right? When they started, they weren't leather, and they evolved leather?
Maybe.
Meat? They didn't have meat? And they didn't produce milk?
I can't answer that question.
Well, the answer, of course, is the cow that we know today did not evolve. It was artificially selected by humans.
Bingo. Nothing has evolved, Dan. Nothing.
You know, this is where I find a stumbling block in talking with these idiots and doing, proper debunks and such, because if you use any kind of poetic language or any kind of slightly, the only word I can use is the one I always go for, nuanced viewpoint, or nuanced viewpoint if some prefer. I think I realize that's where some people think I say nuance weird, because I don't go nuance. Yeah. Sorry, I got sidetracked in my own thought of like, should I start pronouncing it more fancy or should I just keep saying it the way I do? Anyway, um, when the nuance is lost on someone like Kent, they're just going to pick at what you literally say and be like, see? And he's dead serious about it. That's the thing. If this was all a bit, you know, whatever. But it's not. Kent is dead serious on this. Silly, silly old man.
Things have been artificially selected, and there are now 450 breeds of cows. I know my thing's going to go crazy on me when I try to switch over here. Let's see. Alt-DV. It didn't do it. It worked. What is going on here? I can't believe it. Oh, there we go. And okay, let me explain it to you, Dan.
Claude, I find my role, well, definitely bringing up awareness and such, as we all do. In my case, I feel my specific role in all this is to provide a level of catharsis to those who feel damaged by young Earth creationism, religious fundamentalism, anything in this range, to show that these things can be mocked, these people can be mocked, they deserve ridicule, and I'm just going to be me while I do it. And, wind up getting an audience and hanging out with an awesome group of people. Hell yeah. If y'all want to watch this stuff, I'll just keep on making it. Because, it's win-win. Everything's win-win. Everything's coming up Millhouse.
There are 450 breeds of cows, okay? Lots of different kinds of cows, artificially selected for more beef or more milk or to stand the heat better, stand the cold better, whatever, or give more calves, okay? Somebody with interest in time could probably make a family tree of all the cows going back to a common ancestor called a cow. But you guys believe it goes back to a common
Yep, and if you study things, you can find this strange phenomena where all the mammals can be grouped together into a common ancestor. It would have been, some kind of proto-mammal. And, you keep going back in the clades, and suddenly, everything's grouped together. Huh. Funny how that works.
ancestor called an amoeba or a paramecium or a single-celled bacteria or something. I believe cows can jump. They can.
Here we go. Can a cow jump over the moon?
I accept the fact that cows can jump. The evidence for this is overwhelming. Experiments can prove this fact. The question, is there a limit how high they can jump? There's a bull.
Yeah, there's physics limits, physical limits, as have been explained a billion times to you, moron. I'm just going to bring up something that's physically impossible, and that's an evolutionary limit. Okay, then comes the classic, can God make a boulder so heavy when he couldn't lift it? It's a juvenile argument that has no value, but at the same rate, it has an infinite level of value insofar as it demonstrates that coming up with these artificial criteria is kind of silly. But the question should be answerable for your deity. Or not at all. It's definitely one or the other. Either you can come up with some answer, thus limiting the deity's power one way or the other, or you just say that couldn't work and therefore go nuh-uh to it.
Jumping over a 6-foot fence, over 2 6-foot fences, jumped right over them. So, since we know cows can jump, and this one jumped 6 feet, therefore, given enough time, energy, and money, the cow could jump over the moon. You agree, that's silly, don't you, Dan? There's physical limits, right? Right, that's the whole point. There are limits to how high the cow can jump.
Yes, physical limits. That doesn't mean that evolutionary change doesn't happen. Sorry, I decided to take a bite of my dinner right there. What you're doing is, and I'm normally not one to identify logical fallacies too well. This is most definitely a textbook case of a non sequitur. Also, what you described is, if enough time, you said energy. There's a key thing there, Kent. Let's define jumping. All right, let's have the cow jump. Let's have the cow jump onto some sort of launch vehicle that then immediately takes off. So, in a sense, one could argue the cow is still jumping as it jumps onto the already moving rocket. And that sends it around the moon. Technically speaking, then, one could argue that the cow did indeed jump over the moon. It was an assisted jump, but it jumped nonetheless. You want to play word games, Kent? We can play word games. Let me tell you, with all the garbage puns I come up with at work, all the stupid crap I bring up out of nowhere, and everyone's just like, huh, that's a good point. Over the stupidest stuff. Yeah, Kent, I think I'd win that.
There are limits to how far animals can change, and you guys don't get it, okay? There's a limit how high they can jump. Have they reached the limit? 6 foot? I don't know. Maybe they'll get to 7 foot next time. But there is a limit.
Ali, I will definitely keep that in mind. Ken and Zilk want me, I'm dead. If I couldn't laugh at people like Ken, I'd lose the tenuous hold I have on my sanity. Yeah, seriously. But, he isn't a problem. He doesn't cause any damage. He isn't, there's no issues with him. He's just some preacher spreading goodness. It's like, no. Spreads pure hatred. There's no use arguing with these idiots, sadly. I'm not saying what's necessary to get the point across because I don't know. But obviously, being reasonable, being logical, explaining things isn't going to help these bigoted pieces of shit ever grasp that they're evil.
You guys will not admit it. 16 common cattle breeds, successful farming. Let's see, all 400 cattle breeds. For simply 450, I don't think, it doesn't matter to me, okay?
Stacey popping up with the gym, yet somehow there's no limit to how big of a dick the Kent can appear to be. Oh, he doesn't just appear to be one, he most certainly is. Although now that you think about it, he probably appears to be a smaller prick than he actually is because he doesn't want to alienate everybody. So we've got some kind of subterfuge going on that makes him only appear 50% of the whale member size that he actually is. You fucking prick.
Cow, know-how. Lots of different kinds of cows. Dairy cattle breeds. I accept the fact that there are 450 breeds of cows that probably had a common ancestor called a cow. The Bible says they will bring forth after their kind. That's all they've ever done, Dan.
And the Bible says a lot of other stuff that I won't repeat here, Kent.
There are no exceptions to this. None. If you have one, show me, okay? I challenge you. After their kind, after their kind, after their kind. It's all through the Bible. 30 times in the 30 times in the book that I found so far, okay? So 450 breeds of cows. How many kinds of cows are there? 450, okay? Most would not survive in nature. They have to be protected on a farm or a ranch. Nothing about the cow has evolved. See, breeders have selected from pre-existing traits, like the ability to give milk, which is a really complicated process.
It's a fucking mammal, Kent. They all give milk. Since all cows are females of this various species, of those bovines, yeah, they give milk. It's kind of how it works because they're fucking mammals. Do you not know what a mammal is? One of the hallmark characteristics of mammals? There's some other interesting ones like external ears, hair covering the body, fur for most of it, although we don't call it fur on humans, interestingly enough. I mean, it's not really a fur per se, but it has to be thick and lush and all awesome to be fur. I mean, I'm sure there's a real, more technical definition, but it's the same thing. It's hairs. I forget a lot of the other traits that aren't that are unique to mammals, are explicitly indicative. But yeah, cows are fucking mammals, Kent. That's what they do. You fucking idiot.
Mammary glands in the cow, in the udder. Very complicated process. They just emphasized it. They didn't create it. They emphasized an already existing trait. Why didn't they grow wings on the cow and fly? Huh? Meat, heat resistance, drought resistance, etc. Breeders have not created anything new in the cow. This cow gave 185 pounds of milk every day. It would never survive on its own. It can barely walk. Somebody broke the record now. The largest milk yield from a cow in 24 hours with a milking machine is 32 gallons, 281 pounds of milk.
Look at that. He actually has the stuff there, and he focuses on the weight rather than the volume. And also only the pounds aspect of the weight, not the ounces. God, Kent.
Milk. Utterly insane. That's a lot of milk. And again, it wouldn't survive on its own. It's still a cow, and it already gave milk. They didn't create anything new. Nothing. Okay? That's some pretty big horns. What do you think? Billy, we need one of those, don't we, for the front of the moped? Yeah, that would look cool. The world's biggest bull. What a beast.
Otaku, thank you. I knew there was something particular about it. I'll have to check that out.
Big one. Belgian blue, 2,700 pounds. But they find fossil cows, 4,400 pounds. See, Dan, things are getting worse. The O'Rourke, the original cow, was much bigger than today's cows. And they've now been selectively breeding them to get itty-bitty ones. The world's smallest cow, Guinness Book of World Records. There's a micro mini cow, 36 inches tall, less than that. Here's one, 20 inches tall, micro mini cow. World's tallest cow, 6'4". All the breeds of cows probably had a common ancestor called a cow. But in your stupid religion, Dan, you believe that proves that the cows are...
And a quick look up while Kent was doing his random bullshit. The scientific term for woolly or hairy covering of mammals is pelage. And science makes no distinction between hair and fur. Both are simply pelage, with some more general distinctions between the two. I hadn't seen anything that double checks the multiple hairs versus single pairs to be simple per follicle. But yeah, I have to check out details and see examples, because I thought it would be one per follicle from the way they're designed. See, I use language that Kent would latch onto from the way they are. But yeah, and see, this demonstrates right here the thing. It's like, I wonder about this. Ooh, someone in chat had popped up with something. Ooh, I have an opportunity to look this up. I'm not seeing what they said, but I'm not ruling it out as something. It doesn't sound right necessarily to me, but that doesn't mean anything. And if I do find something verifying that, that's going to be awesome. And if not, that's cool too, because now it's got me looking up more information. That's the way this stuff's supposed to be. I now wonder about something. Let me find new data. Ooh, look, new data has been presented to me. Let me see what else I can find to corroborate this. And you just roll with it. It's beautiful. This man ain't learned anything new since disco was still in style.
Are related to frogs and cats and fish, don't you? You do. You believe you're related. Let's see, Dan, what are you related to? I asked him. Let's see. P.Z. Myers is...
Oh. Dairy industry measures milk by pound until it gets for bottling. Okay, so that at least makes some sense.
Related to a fish. Wade the Wizard's related to a snail. Professor Dave's related to a strawberry. I ask him when I do debates with him. Okay? Did I do Dan? Let's see. Simon Dan is related to a slug and a possum. You told me you were. I asked you, Dan, are you related to a slug and a possum? I know the O silent. Possum. You said yes.
Okay, so he mentioned possum, which, Kent, we don't have possums in the United States. We have opossum. That really, really pisses me off that people don't call it by the right fucking name. Also, I think North America's only marsupial. I could be mistaken. It's weird. Anyway, so it was around Easter sometime many years ago, and I wrote a piece on my website about this. We heard rustling in the attic for the weeks before Easter. I go out to get some air out of the house. I'm going to go out anyway. There's a little baby opossum just hanging out front. Little baby, cute as hell. You know, the kind you're like, I want to pick you up. I know I shouldn't do that, and I won't do that, but I want to. It was cute until it saw me and got a little scared and opened its mouth and did a little hiss. And those fuckers have a ton of teeth. It was pretty wild. I let it go and do its thing, and eventually it left. And I went out and I found it in the middle of the section between the houses and took some slightly closer photos, and then let it go on and do its thing. Hopefully, it's still alive, doing well. I don't know. But yeah, it was cool. I really do like animals. Little moments like that were just super nice, and I hadn't thought about that in a while. Partly because it makes me miss my old place and how things were before everything went to shit. Whatever. We're going to rise like a phoenix from the ashes. Or something like that. Anyway, back to Hovent. Oh, and in case anyone's wondering, I titled the article something like Suddenly Wild Baby Opossum Appears or something like that. So if you look on my website, you can find it.
You're living in fantasy world, okay? It's not reality. Okay, the wild cow is probably the ancestor of all the cows. I wouldn't argue with that. It doesn't prove it's related to a frog.
Some book says a thing, Hovent.
You guys...
Actually, that's Professor Dave, excuse me. Some book says a thing. Professor Dave. Past like 6 years.
Have, let's see, the cow related to the bird and coming from an amoeba. That's not science. All this does not prove that the cows came from an amoeba millions of years ago, and that all cows are related to frogs and butterflies and birds and humans and octopus. This is the chart you guys use, and it's stupid. Real stupid.
Yes, I too would like a pet opossum. I am totally for the possession of such. There's a fun fact: the raccoon is the state animal of Tennessee. That's pretty neat.
I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but that's not science. It's dumb. It's a propaganda poster is all it is. Let me let Dan Black.
And he'll probably only do that when he actually finally sees my face, which I still intend for it to be a cold day in hell before he's got a good photo of me. Not like it's not out there, but it's all an open secret that's just terribly kept.
A little more. Talk a little more here. Okay, let's see. This is working. I can actually look at this. Okay.
A modern cow's ancestors are the wild aurochs, which is an extinct cattle species that humans bred to get today's...
Dan, you believe the modern cow's ancestor was an amoeba, don't you?
Oh, he's got to pull out his chart. He paid a whole $5 for that lamination back in 2005, and he really got to get his money's worth. Look at that look when he puts it back. Yeah, we're going to go back. Sorry to loop, but I mean, look at the way he looks when he puts it back. Like he's pissed off.
And you believe
this dude's got, it goes without saying, but this dude's got serious mental issues.
The modern cow's ancestor was an amoeba.
Like, seriously, watch him.
Don't you?
Look at that deranged ass view. And what's he looking over to the side for? Are you using a teleprompter, Kent? No, your unhinged rants could not possibly be scripted. Do you have a minder telling you to move along? I don't know. Maybe Joseph's like, go on, Kent.
Come on now. Be honest. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. No, you're not, you fucking asshole.
Cattle, bred for their meat and their milk, of course. If humans weren't around, then it's highly likely that a Frisian wouldn't be either.
A little research will show you that cattle in those days were used for their milk, meat, and leather. In addition to providing food, milk, and hides, these animals could be harnessed to till fields with early versions of the plow. What benefit do chickens have?
Yeah, I'd say there's a level of derangement going on with Kent, absolutely.
Humanity.
We eat their eggs, we eat their meat.
What benefits of the horse to humanity?
People like riding them.
They even got a groove for us to sit on, just the right height.
That's pretty interesting. You could interpret that as maybe being a creationist thing or an evolutionist thing.
Evolution, why did the horse evolve a groove before anyone sat on it?
That's not a question I can answer, I'll be honest.
Well, it didn't. That groove is the natural curve of the horse's spine.
Natural?
Excuse me. Oof. Laughed a little too much. Kent, are you seriously going to deny spinal curvature being not natural? Have you looked at spines of anything? I would say, have you checked your own? But we know you're spineless, so you couldn't have possibly checked your own. And since you haven't had consensual contact with another human being since the Industrial Revolution, it's probably been a while since you felt any bone other than the limp one you've got hanging around that Sandra isn't tending to the needs of anymore. God, sorry, I'm fucking roasting him right now. um, spines tend to have little, nice little curve here or there to them, depending on the creature. You get to mammals and such, it's pretty damn common. Anatomy's funny like that, which is yet another wonderful aspect of clearly inherited traits caused by common descent.
I mean, explain what you mean by that, Dan. It just comes that way. It was designed that way, maybe?
Oh, it's designed that way. Fuck you, Kent.
It was designed to have a curve in the spine, just right for people to sit on? Okay.
Just like our spine has a...
Yes, then why doesn't the horse just have a whole freaking plush recliner in its back? It's got a fucking lazy boy just hanging out. That would be a great design. Fucking retard. Sorry, yeah, I said the word.
natural curve.
Right.
And
our spine with that natural curve helps to absorb the shock if you jump on too hard of a subject or too hard of a platform or something.
Yeah, my ex was very big into horse riding. She told me stories.
Your spine has that S-shaped curve. Great shock absorber. Yeah, almost like it was designed.
other mammals too.
You think God designed these things for the benefit of humanity?
Yes.
The yogurt guy is a creationist. That explains...
The yogurt guy. Dan, you're the bacteria guy. No, I'm sorry. You believe you're related to a slug. That one I would agree with, okay?
Slugs are cool. I don't know what Ken's talking about.
things a little bit better.
So how do I get to heaven?
You died.
What do you have to do to make it to heaven? What's the criteria?
Follow the Ten Commandments.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. What's that? 2 minutes ago he admitted that he didn't know that yogurt and ice cream came from a cow. Yeah, good point.
I don't remember most of the Ten Commandments,
Let's
but
go through some.
Notice the way Dan is a mocker. He will mock the one guy, okay, bring up something he said. He doesn't look at his own religion to mock it like you should, Dan, okay? You have the dumbest religion in the world.
Yes. Kent wants to complain about mockery when that's all he fucking does. And yes, I'm totally aware of the irony in that that's what I do, but, I do it because Kent does it. You'll notice beyond a few cases, and I always have to stress this, a few particular cases of other channels like Amot, or other big names like Answers in Genesis, occasionally Ray Comfort, what have you. I don't just go after random preachers for the most part. And when I do, there's usually not much meat on the bone to ridicule as to just normally react to. Kent provides quite the dynamic bit of tomfoolery, we'll say, to create for interesting reactionary content. And I only focus on him because he happens to be such a prick. And creates some pretty interesting potential reaction material that's good potential for a reaction. It's like people who wonder why I do the stuff I do don't get that. They act like I'm just, I just hate religious people. It's like, well, I'm not exactly a fan of religion by any means, and depending on the type of religious person, I might not be a fan of them. But no, I'm going after Kent because he's a piece of shit.
You believe you're related to a slug.
Some of them. How many lies have you told in your life? That's the night.
Oh, can't count.
457,987,642 and a third. What the fuck does it matter, Ray? Oh, right, lying's a sin, as if lying for Jesus is fine, because of course it is. Comfort.
What do you call someone who tells lies?
A liar.
What are you?
A liar. Not now.
That was
Yeah, he'd get to this game, and I'd be like, nah, dog. Nah. Of course, if I was anywhere near fucking, Venice Beach or whatever, and I saw Ray Comfort, I'd give him the finger and then just keep on going. Fuck you, Ray. Like, you think I don't like Kent? I actually legitimately hate Ray Comfort. He is just scum to me. Like, you ever touch something disgusting without wanting to, and then upon making contact with that, you end up finding there's a deeper, even more disgusting layer? Kent's the first disgusting bit. Ray's the second disgusting bit. Just, ugh. This whole shtick just really, really grinds my gears.
in the past.
It was in the past. Yeah.
Oh, it was in the
Oh, yeah, and I forgot to actually address the $2 heart super chat from Marty. Thank you so very much. Marty, spreading the love. Everyone give everyone give Marty some hearts in reply, because he deserves it. He's always spreading love around here.
past, that's okay then. It's all about forgiveness, I guess. You ever stolen something?
Oh yeah, Kent. Riveting audio as you pour more water into your stupid cup. Oh my god. This fucking clown. And I feel bad when I happen to be snacking on something and I try my best to hide it. And I still have to apologize to you guys. I was like, sorry, I'm eating while I stream. That's very unprofessional of me. And this dude just doesn't give a fuck.
in the past.
Not recently.
No, it's in the past.
Way. I'm taking a penny.
From work.
Yeah.
That's theft. God's not impressed with the value of that which you steal.
I love how he gets all super serious with the evolutionist guy, but with the other guy, it was like,
It's in the past, it's fine. You ever use God's name in vain?
Yes.
I'd respond to him, you goddamn right I do.
Be careful, that's blasphemy. Punishment by death in the Old Testament. It's using
Yeah, well, fucker really doesn't seem to be doing anything now. Doesn't seem to give a shit.
God's name as a cuss word.
the creationist guy is not faring well, is he?
He's the
I don't think he's a creationist guy, Dan. Okay, you're putting words in his mouth, but either way, go ahead.
And if you look at a woman and lust for her, you commit adultery with her in your heart. Have you ever looked at a woman with lust?
Never.
Are you homosexual?
No.
One of those answers was a lie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, didn't know. Yeah, legitimately, if I do, and I mean this all seriousness, if I do misgender or otherwise misconstrue something, remember that number one, I'm an idiot. I would say contrary to popular belief, but popular belief is I'm an idiot. I'm not super perceptive on things sometimes, and I also have a real crappy memory. So yeah, just remind me of stuff. Promise, yeah, stuff's never intentional, and unless someone just says they're mad at me for something, I'm not gonna, or for the most part, I'm not gonna take anything as possibly them being offended. Like if I was corrected on something, um, but it just depends on how you respond. If I can read between, there are some social cues that I'm not quite wired to pick up. So yeah, just I, I don't know how to finish the statement. It's just clarifying.
That's true, Dan. That's true. Good point. But listen to what he says right now. Listen to this.
Which, see, brings up the thought that people get so pissy about pronouns, and it's like, look, even without people having preferred pronouns and such because of, gender identity not matching what would be presumed or what have you, or, non-binary cases are having, special pronouns as opposed to the standard set. Sometimes it's just a case where simply a name can get associated one way or the other, and you don't know. Notice that it took me a few times to realize when Kent said his secretary Bobby, even though it was spelled the girl's way, it didn't click with me that of course it was a woman. Partly because I know a guy named Bobby, someone I work with, so I end up thinking of a guy first and foremost. You know, it's just that's just the way our brains work, is little associative things. So when they complain about pronouns and bios and such, I mean, I think anyone who interacts with me knows I go by he, him, pronouns. I do put that in, accounts and such when the option's there. I don't think it's necessary, but, you know, it eliminates any kind of confusion. If someone sees it, it's like, okay, I definitely refer to Yamato as a he. It's all good. Although, honestly, I don't quite care. If you were to call me a she, I kind of wouldn't care. So, eh, you know? It's like, yeah, here's what I prefer, but I really don't give a shit. As long as your pronouns aren't, a bunch of insults, that's cool. And then even if it is insults, it may be cool. I may not give a fuck. I'm just rambling, though. Let's keep going.
Also, both options are totally okay. Just
So adultery is okay and lusting is okay. In your worldview, I'm sure it is. That's probably why you like the evolution worldview, isn't it, Dan? I bet that's why. Yeah. Okay.
so you know, we are human.
When did you last look at pornography?
Years ago.
Um, you know, if it wasn't for the fact I like to keep professionalism in check, I could totally have something going on my laptop right now. And yet, years ago, my ass. I don't know. This seems like the kind of dude who. I feel like I'm being mean to this guy, but it looks like he's the kind of dude who'd be like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Pumping Up, where he feels like he's coming all the time as he works out.
No, but I don't look in the past. I'm looking to go into the future.
If you're in court and you say, I did rob the bank, but judge, it was in the past, of course it was in the past. It's not in the future. You're going to.
And Maria with a $5 super chat. Thank you so very much. I hang around here enough that I thought I should send some coffee money. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate y'all just hanging out. I joke about sending shekels over. It does help. Tomorrow's another YouTube payout for February, and the money I got from that will definitely help to take care of some stuff. In case someone's wondering, just so you know where your dollars are going, it's going to cover one of my storage units containing all my cool stuff that I talk about but never get to play around with because it's in storage. So, I appreciate y'all for helping with things like that. It really does mean a lot. And I say that, the YouTube money is nice. It helps take the edge off. But the fact that I get to hang around with y'all, it's just so damn cool. And I cannot stress that enough. And plus, we get to laugh at this old jerk off.
Jail. So everything we do is in the past. On Judgment Day, you're going to be innocent or guilty. Bearing in mind, you told me you're a liar, a blasphemer, a thief, and an adulterer at heart.
Oh, no.
Otaku, I can't even tell if that's like a joke or if you seriously had thought that at a point or not. Because now I'm wondering if you did seriously think it, how would you have come to that thought? Like, what conveyed that? Although, fun fact, there was a time in certain music game forums where I specifically hid my gender, and people seriously thought I might have been female at a point. It was a fun little mini game. This was back in like 2007, so well before gender identity became, I don't call it a hot button subject, but like something where playing around like that could actually have been seen as insensitive. So yeah. That was fun times though, till I finally started doing a few YouTube videos and they heard my voice. It's like, oh, Cadiz is a guy. Okay.
no, it doesn't, does it? How about this, my good man? Forget about it. Live your life as you see fit, and
We got the other tomato, Zoomy Tomato in the chat. Hell yeah.
forget about being judged by an.
That's what you would love, isn't it, Dan? See, what Dan doesn't realize, and Ray Comfort capitalized on it very well, Dan is spreading the gospel to his crowd.
Oh, yeah. Dan's really converting all these people. No. Remember, Kent, I ain't had anybody comment on my stuff saying me doing my videos exposing them to Kent Hovind has saved I shaved them. Because here's the thing, Kent. All right. If you were to ever say such about my videos, the problem is that my videos are tagged in such a way, and my subscribers and my popular, viewer base is such that they're already aware of you. So if they wanted to see your content, they would just go see your content. They would just watch it. Seeing me talk about your stuff and sitting through all the stuff I do, all the meandering side stories, they'd be hard pressed to really sit through all that. So at worst, potentially, the fact that I have creationist as a tag in most of the videos might cause them to become aware of you. But the thing is, they're not just going to be out of nowhere finding my videos. They're going to get other religious stuff if they're looking for that kind of stuff. But if they're looking for anti-Kent Hovind content, for comedy content relating to you, they're going to find me. So no. With Dan, it's people going for logical content. It's who's going to find him. Not people hunting for any kind of religious stuff. Also, yet again, this strange thought that evangelicals and stuff have that people somehow in the Western world haven't heard all of these stories about the Jesus and the sin and the saving and the incest and genocide park and stuff. That they haven't heard this and that it's novel information to them. It's ridiculous. Everyone knows about Christianity. People have either already accepted it or they haven't. The flop from one to the other, it does happen, but it seems to be more common popping out of religion than popping back in. Although I work with a few people who say they used to be atheists, but then again, I think that was a thing of how they were brought up and them just rejecting the way they were brought up. So I don't know.
Isn't he? He plays a lot of my videos on his channel. Don't you, Dan? Thank you.
He really doesn't. Pops a video about you every once in a while, and then you make like 40 about him because he draws in views. Because Joseph's probably told you, hey, you get really good views with that Simon Dan person. My videos that have done really well in this whole sphere, like when I did stuff, the one early on about with you whacking a gut-sick gibbon. I got a ton of views early on. Crazy popular. I almost want to go back and redo that Whack-an-atheist. Do a redux like I did the Hank Green one. Yeah, never act like you're not playing the video game, playing the view game like all of us are. Even if you're not aware of it, you got people trying to make sure it's worth your while to do this crap.
Okay? You're spreading some truth to your crowd who believes they came from a rock. And some of them are getting converted. Yeah, go ahead.
Imaginary being or your fellow humans, Ray Comfort is not a nice human being, is he?
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a good friend of mine. What do you mean he's not a nice human being? Nice guy. Dan, you're the one we got to watch out for if you think it's okay to lust and commit adultery. Guys, watch your women around Dan.
He judges you by those 10.
Yes, him basically implying that he just called Dan a rapist because the implication there is that the women wouldn't be consenting to anything. Wow, what a gentleman you are, Kent. Really, really good. I refrain from making such accusations about you, aside from some very off-the-wall obvious jokes, but I did make that one earlier, but again, that was a joke. And that also didn't imply you necessarily. I'm not going to get into the details. Y'all know my joke earlier. I thought it was pretty damn funny. Fuck you, Kent. That's my point.
Commandments, you're going to be innocent or guilty.
Guilty.
Heaven or hell.
Hell, by that definition.
Does that concern you?
No.
My man. Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't concern you either, does it, Dan? Yet. It will.
It's about as concerning as finding fluff in your belly button.
Have you heard of Jesus dying on the cross?
Yes.
Why did he die?
Blood loss, I imagine.
Yes. Blood loss, I mentioned. Yeah, that right there, the have you heard of? Nah. I live in the United motherfucking cocksuck states of fucking Trump's ass licking America. But I've never fucking heard the story of Jesus fuck ass Christ. Of course, you fucking idiot. I've heard the fucking story about your bullshit ass carpenter sacrificing himself to himself for random ass bullshit. It's fucking stupid. You're fucking stupid. I don't fucking care. Get out of my face, you fucking backwater prick. Or something like that is what I'd want to say to Ray. Get so sick of hearing that. I really do.
It was for our sins. He took the punishment for us. We don't have to go to hell.
Can we cut this? I don't
Yeah,
want
we can cut it, but did you just hear what I said? You can live forever by putting your faith in Jesus. It's as simple as that. So you don't have to die and end up in hell. The gift of God is eternal life through trusting in Jesus. Hear what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
What do you think about what we talked about?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm actually starting to feel a bit sorry for this guy. Ray has berated him within an inch of his moral centre.
Wait. Ray has gotten him to confess.
Udhoff, I have no idea what is up. Like, seriously, there should be no issues. Maybe if you're putting the number sign in front of it, it's treating it like a hashtag and is being like, nope, we're not hashtagging here. I don't know. I mean, I could post it in the chat, but I'd get, like people try putting was/were in the chat because that was the comment earlier that was made by our friend here about what Kent's pronouns will eventually be, as will all our pronouns eventually be. But then additionally, try putting in his inmate number 0645 06452-017 and see if it happens to come through. Producer, you, Dan, and everyone else makes a filter that makes it easier to choke down as garbage, because otherwise I don't think anyone would actually watch his content at all. Yeah, that's another thing that I do. Aside from providing a catharsis to many people who need it, is being a way of filtering Kent Hoven's garbage into something that's at least enjoyable. And doing the live streams, it's definitely better to be here live because after the fact, it just feels kind of, I don't know, one-sided, I guess. But like, what am I trying to say? Yeah, you would never watch to see the kinds of stuff Kent does without me doing my full, watchings of videos. So you get the full context of stuff. People like Claude, Big Bad Mama, doing the clips they do, and other people doing their own, like Dapper Dinosaur and like doing their own long form commentaries. And of course, AJ, when he blesses us with a stream, oh, you get some good stuff.
The truth. He simply got him to confess, yes, I've lied, yes, I've lusted, yes, I've stolen things. He didn't berate him. Dan, have you lied in your life? Have you stolen things? Have you lusted? Have you ever committed adultery? You ever had premarital sex or extramarital sex? I don't know. Doesn't matter to me, but it will to you on Judgment Day when God judges you, because it's His law you're going to be judged by. And you claim it's no more important than fluff in your belly button. Okay, we shall see. I promise you're going to regret those words when you stand before God. I'm trying to help you, Dan. Really, I am. I'm the best friend you got, and you don't even know it. I'm trying to warn you. This world.
Sorry, I was muted there when I shouldn't have been. Kent, you're not anyone's best friend. And your best friends probably actually just use you for everything they can get from you. I don't know what that would be, but I'm sure they get something out of the deal. Because you don't seem like a kind of person to be worth hanging around.
The world was created and the creator owns it, and he made the rules, and you're guilty of breaking his rules, and you're going to be judged. And he provided a way out. That's what we're here for at our ministry, to help people come to know the Lord and get saved. But you don't want it. Okay. Some of your listeners might, Dan. If you're watching Dan's channel or Ray's channel, call me, 855-BIG-DINO, extension 3. I'll explain to you over the phone how you can be saved and go to heaven. It's so simple. It has to be. Dan, I've been praying for you. Okay?
And tied him into some emotionally blackmailed, laced verbal contract. Or
He tied him into a blackmail. He blackmailed him into a contract. He explained the truth. You sinned. You're going to be judged. There's a way out. Would you like it? What is wrong with you, Dan?
awful behaviour.
May I give you a...
Kent, you haven't demonstrated that there is even a thing of sin. Again, quantify sin. Show me a bottle of sin. Which actually make a kick-ass name for a perfume, which I'm sure is out there. But I would like, Sin by Yamato. It'd be vanilla scented. If you must know. That's the kind of fragrance I'd go for. Something very vanilla-y. I like that. You haven't verified in any way, shape, or form that any kind of judgment would come. And then this idea that there's a forgiveness, but you have to do something to accept it, then it's not forgiveness. I forget what exactly you'd call that, but it's conditional, then it's not forgiveness.
book I've written called Scientific Facts in the Bible?
Sure.
You're very patient, and I've got a couple of in-and-out cards for you for lunch.
Very nice.
Okay? Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too.
Then he actually blackmails his conscience with food vouchers.
Oh yeah, gotta get that food vouchers. That way I can justify you being on my video and not have to pay your royalties, because I'm gonna make a mint off this video while you're just gonna get some things for fucking in and out. Christ, I'd rather eat at Arby's than In and Out. Take of that what you will.
Has to be blackmailed with food voucher. The guy took time to talk to him. He paid for his lunch. What is wrong with you, Dan? What is wrong with you? I bet you advertise on your channel, don't you, Dan? You people.
Oh, Kent. Oh, the pathetic. You monetize your channel. That has nothing to do with the point Dan is making of him, paying people off basically for this stuff, which is kind of what he's doing here.
I bet I've seen some of your shows where the first 5 minutes is talking about your sponsor for the show.
And no, given that Dan does 10-minute videos on average, the first 5 minutes is not his sponsor. Usually a 30-second spot. Which, on a side note, if you're someone with something that you want to advertise and you want my goofy self to advertise it, get in touch. I'll do anything for $20, but I won't do that. It's up to you to figure out what that is. Oh, I've already said it once before, so I might as well say it again, because I'll do anything for $20. Like, that kind of sound clip isn't going to haunt me. Oh, crap. When did I become a comedian? Look, I lost my train of thought. I looked back at the pin thing. It is more precisely a beaver's butt and laughed. I like vanilla fragrances. That's all I can say. Can't believe that once saved, always saved, which means no matter how many times. Sorry, here come the on-fits. No matter how much he sins now, he'll be saved. Which is why getting away with lying, abuse, stealing, Christianity is a way to criminal. Yeah, exactly. Lust is not something a person can control, nor are sexual thoughts. Acting on those and feelings is in a person's control. Here he demonizes people for thoughts and feelings. There is a very sensitive subject that relates into this, which I will not discuss here. Matt Dillahunty brought it up at a point when someone had called into, I believe it was still when he was still on the Atheist Experience, and there was a very interesting call that came in that was really tragic in a way. The person was reaching out for this feeling, these thoughts that could not be controlled. They didn't act on them. And Matt explained that you can't control what you feel in some cases like this. It is, in this case, what you act on or fail to act on that determines things. And I won't say these things because controversial ass subject, but I'm inclined to agree with Matt insofar as that exact thought that one cannot, as you put here, Maria, that one cannot control what they actually like think innately feel. You can't control what you're attracted to. You can't control that chemistry happening. Things can influence it, but you can't truly just control it outright. Otherwise, we can make ourselves feel and think however we want. But acting on something or not acting on something is the critical thing. And getting help for issues that you recognize are a serious problem and do not want to be a problem anymore is the key thing. Not acting on stuff, getting the help you need, and hopefully things getting better. Hopefully y'all don't think I'm weird for beating around the bush too much on that one or something, or otherwise be like, what the fuck is Chris talking about? Or really hope you don't think like, oh, I know what you're talking about. What the fuck's wrong with you? Because I tried to explain it as best I could. So yeah, I don't know. The more we do these streams, the more comfortable I get talking about deep, weird stuff. Sometimes I'm not even super comfortable with, but it's my effort of being honest and being human in these streams. Far more human than Kent is. Paints in red and put in a jar. Exactly.
It's all about money for you, Dan. And you're talking about somebody else being blackmailed? Hypocrite.
I'm at a loss.
I agree.
Zoomy, I actually remember hearing this. That's why you bringing up the beaver thing. Didn't catch me off guard. I remember that. Amazing, I remembered something. Cassius, catch you later. Like he doesn't sell books and videos, precisely. Kent uses his fake religion as a way of escaping accountability for his actions. That's why he thinks he can lie, steal, and help see abusers and not have consequences. Exactly. So if you used artificial vanilla flavoring in the 70s, you were using beaver castorum or the stuff beaver anal glands produce. Well, good for you. I was not using artificial vanilla flavor in the 70s because I didn't exist until 84, 85 range. And hyperfixation is absolutely fine. We are here for the autistic hyperfixation and the non-autistic hyperfixations. I don't know if those exist. I feel like it's a side effect of the tism in and of itself. But I could be mistaken. I'm no doctor. I'm just some weirdo on the internet. Actually, wait. If Ken Hoven's a doctor, then I'm a doctor. Because I have 5 PhDs and he only has 4. Anyway, Udev popping up with, and Donnie standing for truth 100% agrees with him. No matter what Kent continues to do, he should be supported. It's a method of justifying criminal activity. This is one of the most dangerous things about religion, especially the way Christianity is structured, is that, yeah, it is enabling of all kinds of stuff, and that just the whole forgiveness concept, boom, makes everything okay. Whereas in our circles, UI and everyone else would hold each other accountable for, anything we do or say. That's why I'm concerned about some of the stuff I say, some of the phrasing, so that I make sure they are conveyed correctly. So you guys know where I'm coming from, know where my heart is in particular stuff. And if I say something that's past the line, I'll be held accountable. Thankfully, that hasn't happened. Thankfully, y'all know when I'm joking. Y'all know when I'm serious, and y'all know when, I do emote well, which is weird for someone like me because I shouldn't really be able to emote well, but I don't know. It's a learned behavior. Yeah, look at me studying myself. Fuck, what was my point? Oh yeah, that you guys will hold me accountable if something happens. But with the religious cult, they'll just keep shuffling each other to and fro, not caring. It's fine. You did all that horrible stuff. You're still a Christian. You're still good. That's what it boils down to. It's insane. That's why Kent supports people like the Duggars, exactly what I was thinking of, even the convicted sea abusers. They're against fake religion, so no accountability at all. Wish my dog was like a beaver. Oh, man. Maria, that's hilarious. Purely autistic. Okay. Okay, just like mine. I'm a doctor. I have one PhD. I'm not using it. Do you want it? I mean, I don't know how much good it would do me because I'm not you. But, I mean, totally. It says make a copy of it. Because we can do like digital copies now, so I can have an exact duplicate, and then there's two, it's now two instead of one. That'd be cool. Oh yeah, oh yeah, Maria. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Oh boy, that's why I laughed the way I did. Because oh boy, yeah, audience. If you want to get Maria's joke up there, just look up the dogs. Dogs glands. I thought Kent's degree was in ass hattery. Mine seems to be more in fuckery because I'm just fucking around right now. Maria's dissertation, social anthropology of an AA community. Interesting. Let's finish up this video. Oh my god, we've been streaming for a while and I'm still nowhere near done with this. Oh boy.
At the thought of you ending up in hell, you love life. You love the blueness of the sky, the sound of birds in the morning, all these things are gifts from God.
I can't help but think Ray delights over imagining evolutionists burning in hell.
Now, do you know what?
You think Ray delights
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of you Christians do because you're so obsessed with that.
with people burning in hell? Dan, listen, you're a complete idiot. Ray spends a lot of time out on the streets trying to talk people into giving their heart to Jesus Christ. We devote our whole ministry here to bringing people to the Lord.
Oh, yeah, like every other ministry out there doesn't do that. That's kind of the whole point of them, you fucking pompous piece of crap. Man, you're stupid, Kent.
I don't delight in people going to hell. Otherwise, I'd just let them do it. No, we preach the gospel. I preach how many times? 6 times a week, plus Brother Meister 3 times a week, plus all the phone calls I take.
Oh, Meister's fucking unwatchable. A fucking buffoon. He says some ridiculous shit, but I just can't tolerate it enough because it's a normal-ass sermon. At least your half-ass sermons are actually just you, unhinged boomer rambling on.
10,000.
Rambling on because he's angry at the world. Meister's just some weird old dude who's doing an actual fucking fire and brimstone sermon. That isn't funny. That isn't interesting. It's just stupid.
We want to help, plus all the books and videos we produce that we allow people to copy. Dan, we are not in this for the money. We don't delight in anybody going to hell. We're trying to stop them from going to hell. I'd like to stop you from going to hell.
Best I could gather, Zumi, is probably just studying deceased specimens to understand more of them. That's my guess.
But you don't want, you want to go, okay. Go there and pick the fluff out of your belly button the rest of your life, okay.
What God did for guilty sinners so we wouldn't have to go to hell.
I don't know.
You actually do, but because you don't understand it, you don't value it. Have you heard of Jesus dying on the cross?
Yeah, I have.
Almost everybody has. But they haven't heard this. And Isaac, if you can get a grip of this, it's going to change everything for you. The 10 Commandments are called the moral law. You and I broke the law. Jesus came and paid the fine. That's why he said, it is finished. Just before he died, he was saying paid in full. If you're in court and you've got speeding fines, a judge will let you go if someone pays your fines.
Okay, so which 10 Commandments for starter? Because there's like 2 or 3 sets at least. And also, that's just the first 10 out of like 700. Second, Jesus said a bunch of different stuff when he died. There's different accounts all in there. And 3, that's just a storybook, bro.
Even though you're guilty, he says you're out of here because your fine was paid by another, and it's legal. Well, God can legally take the death sentence off you because of what you...
Yes, but in the court analogy, you don't have to go through some process to accept that. Nothing that isn't anything other than, oh, that happened, okay, cool, and maybe signing some paperwork you'd have to sign anyway, one way or another. With Christianity comes all these crazy-ass stipulations that seem to not actually matter, but they do. And comes this weird pompous behavior and all this bullshit that just isn't necessary because it's evidently none of it's real. You got to fear this and fear that and suddenly do this and do that. That doesn't actually make you a better person. Doesn't do anything. Generally makes people worse, but it's just been my experience.
Jesus did on that cross.
Seems like a bit of an unfair deal, to be honest, and also very convenient. The sacrifice of a human being in the past that no one has ever seen to make up for all the naughty things that humans have done.
Wait. Something happened in the past that no one's ever seen. Dan, look at
Oh, come on, Kent. Come on.
your own religion. Nobody's ever seen a Big Bang produce anything. Nobody's ever seen matter come from nothing. Nobody's ever seen time, space, matter, energy come from nothing. You believe that in the past, don't you, Dan? Nobody's ever seen life come from non-living material. Nobody's ever seen any animal change to a different kind of animal. But you think it happened long ago and far.
Everything we eat is an example of life coming from non-living material, because unless you eat stuff that is still alive at that exact moment, in which even then it's probably going to die during the digestion process. In fact, it would kind of have to, since it has to be effectively disassembled. Yeah, we do see life come from non-living material, Kent. That Hot Pocket I ate at lunch wasn't alive. It didn't look at me and be like, "No, don't eat me. I want to live." Nope. They sat there inert from once living materials. They sure as hell weren't by the time they got to me, and they sure as hell weren't if they went in that microwave, let alone spending the time in the freezer they did. I mean, if you want to say organic materials, well, that's a different story now, because then you're talking about particular carbon-based molecular structures, which is a whole other thing, and we see those form naturally as well. So, we can get into the weeds, Kent, but am I only just now noticing these particular ways Kent phrases things and realizing I should pick up on the actual words that he says even more so than normal? Or is he just phrasing things weird right now? Because I feel like it's the latter, but maybe it's the former. I don't know.
Our way slowly, very slowly. Well, it's not science, Dan. Science is what we can study, test, prove, demonstrate, okay? Knowledge gained by experimentation and observation. That's science. You are not Simon Dan. You are Lyman Dan, okay? And you have a religion.
Wow. I hadn't heard that since the last Flat Earther did a video on Dan. Wonderful job, Kent. Did you come up with that all by yourself? Fucking cunt Koresh over here thinking he's hot shit. You're lukewarm diarrhea in a Dixie cup. I'm sorry, that was disgusting.
You're a very religious person. You believe very strongly that you're related to a slug. You don't get it. Probably, you may never get it. I hope you do, but you may never. Some of your audience might.
Or will ever do.
And then he rose from the dead after he'd suffered for our sins, and if you'll...
So here's the thing about hell, the concept. All right, if Satan, the devil, whatever, is opposed to God, why then would that entity for a second punish those who are cast away from this God? They would be his best buddies. And unless they try to write in some concept that the Satan character just loves to torment people, which really honestly wouldn't seem in character given even just the Job story and the like. As funny as that sounds. It seemed to me that the hell concept could be at worst, that separation from God, but otherwise would be absolutely fine, just its own dimension, its own essence of Earth, if you will. I don't know. To a point where we'd be hanging out with all the cool people. I mean, think about it, all the cool people are in hell. So, fuck it. That was actually the thought that made me, not that I cared too much about it, but the thought that made me finally realize hell was a complete joke. It's just the idea that the character of this adversary, this entity opposed to God, would not be punishing those who are rejected by the deity. It would be that they would be their allies. There'd be no reason to punish them. So There you go.
Isn't this great? Dan's channel is spreading the gospel to some of his viewers. Thank you, Dan. You don't even know it. You probably still don't even understand it.
Repent of your sins, say, God, I've sinned against you, and turn from those sins and trust in Jesus. God promises, and he cannot lie, he'll grant everlasting life as a free gift. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, Isaac, if you were in plane
Let me share this comment from Maria.
10,000 feet up, why would you
Why?
put on a parachute?
No, stop playing. I don't want to hear Ray Comfort's stupid voice. From our friend Maria. Friends, I'm a disabled veteran. I don't know if you know what my country is doing to us veterans. It's making me anxious and depressed. You all have helped me feel better. I wish you all the best. Glad we could help, Maria. And yeah, the way I don't give a fuck if it's a Democrat, Republican, what have you, end of Congress, of the Supreme Court, of the POTUS that we have, who's ever's in power, whatever party's dominant. Our veterans don't get the right kind of treatment. They just don't. There's a lot of good attempted, and some people get the right stuff, but not everyone gets what they deserve. Um, Fucking sucks, and I don't know details. I'm not a vet. I don't know any vets having to go fight for stuff right now. Beyond like you as an example, as a a friend on here. But from what I've seen through my years, it's never been good. It's always been a struggle, and that shit ain't right.
Because of our old mate gravity, I guess.
To live.
Yeah, and your motivation is fear. You fear dying, so that fear is your friend. It's not your enemy because it's doing you a favor. It's making you put a parachute on.
It may be fear of death that is causing you to put the parachute on. But what causes you to go up in the plane to do the jump in the first place?
All kinds of things would do that, Dan. Have you ever done it? Come right do our zip line, Dan. Yeah, come on, try it.
Oh yes, because a zip line is the same as jumping out of a fucking plane. Yep. And riding one of those little power wheels is the same as driving in the Indy 500. Fucking idiot.
Life itself, Ray. You want to live.
Well, Isaac, because I love you,
Wait, you want to live, so you go up in an airplane and jump out of it?
Oh, Maria with a follow-up. This is the only stream I participate in. Where else can I mention my dog Ario's anal glands? I won't follow up on that. This is the kind of stuff I want, though. Just kind of random, unhinged little party segments. Just us being, goofs, just having fun with each other, feeling comfortable. That's what I try to strive for. And try to keep the positivity flowing, even as we ironically seem negative bashing Kent. It's really an act of positivity because it's giving us all joy and laughter. We all can empathize with each other's frustrations in one way or another with what this man does, the evil that he spouts, the hatred that he perpetuates, the lies he tells. And we're all mad because the damn dino lamp isn't on. Revive the fucking dino lamp, Kent. I'm about ready to call Joseph and see. I almost want to do it now. That'd be funny. Just do a live call in to Joseph and be like, yeah, what happened to the dino lamp? And I'm being completely serious. Please turn the dino lamp back on. I like it. I'm just going random. Let's keep going. Helps if I press play on the actual video and not on Restream.
Did I miss something there?
I've tried to put the fear of God in you today, hoping you'll see that fear as your friend, not your enemy.
Sleep well, Maria. We'll catch you next time you pop in a stream.
I want you to see how serious this is. This is your life we're talking about. It's not just who you're going to marry or what you're going to do for a job. It's where you're going to spend forever. And if death seized upon you today, I want to see you in heaven. I don't want you to end up in hell. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You're going to think about what we talked about.
I've had several ideas on what I'd actually want to happen whenever I finally kick the bucket. I just want a normal ass burial to where I eventually start nurturing the plants above me. Don't want to be cremated. Don't want to be like compressed into a diamond or something. Like I thought if I had kids and they had any kind of eccentricities like me, they may think that's cool. I don't know. That would of course require money. I like the idea. That I want to have my ashes blasted into orbit around the planet. That'd be cool, but expensive. But I mean, if we were going to spend that much money, and if I had, like tons of money, I wouldn't just go for orbiting Earth. Send me to the moon, or hell, send me out wherever. Send me to Jupiter. Do something wild with it. But would I really want to necessarily leave Earth forever? But then you think like maybe that would be cool. Maybe I would prefer that, but then maybe not. But then again, I wouldn't exist anymore, so it wouldn't matter. I don't know. It's just interesting thoughts of what could actually be done with what matter remains after the chemical processes that make up me as the living entity I am cease to be. Once I'm, as Aaron Ra puts it, about 200 pounds of ape meat that's about to go bad. Um, yeah, some interesting thoughts, especially when you're not religious. You really focus on this, little mortal vessel we got, because that's all we've got. And then it's just thinking, well, what do I want to happen with whatever particular atoms are making up this cool hand of mine? I don't know. I like my hands. That sound weird to anyone? Like, you got parts of your body you like, you don't like. I like my hands. Really cool. Hands are neat. I don't know. Now I just sound like a fucking weirdo. I apologize. Again, the esoteric thoughts I get like that. Does anyone else feel me? Probably going to turn back to the thing and everybody's done left. Anyway, let's continue.
Yes.
Oh, Isaac. Dear, oh dear.
When are you going to repent and put your faith in Christ?
At death.
Well, you don't want to wait till then.
Yeah.
The Bible says today, if you
Yeah, I really do wonder what happened with the Dino lamp. Like, no joke. Because it was on for a while and then boom, it's off. I'm just like, ugh, that sucked. What do we have here from S'mores? S'mores Pop Tarts. A streamer reacting to a reaction to a video of Ray Banana Comfort being a douche in public like usual. All right, so we've got a reaction. So I'm a streamer reacting to Kent Hovind's reaction to Stan reacting to Ray. Yep, we've got the right level of reactions. I always have to double check that. So are we 3 layers deep or are we 4? How many layers is this burrito? Either way, it's going to make your stomach feel bad by the end of it, but I want to know how many layers we're at. This is the quality content you tune in for. Love it. Also, I showed my age by saying tune in. When's the last time y'all tuned anything? Actually, I played around with the radio today, like an emergency radio thing, and I could only get tuned to one station. And it wasn't saying anything interesting, so yeah. Process of death and decay is what freaks me out about death. To be completely honest, it's simply the process leading up to cessation of life. That's not going to be fun. Otherwise, no longer living for all that time doesn't bother me because I wasn't alive for all the years leading up to January of '85. Well, actually, before that, I was alive, but that was the month I was born. So, and getting launched like that manhole cover. Yeah. Or, if they still did nuclear testing, why not, be there when a bomb goes off? That'd be cool to be part of it. But then the idea of just every particle ceasing to exist. But then again, do particles even really exist? It's like you begin to get into weird thoughts because like everything's quarks and gluons and it just becomes weird. You can just go deep into the rabbit hole of like what makes me me. And alternately, what value does the physical aspects of me truly have? And I'm glad Zumi thinks I'm not crazy with the hands are awesome thing. It's just so weird. Cheap and makes it very easy for your fam. True. Hands are pretty cool and important. Okay, so I'm not alone in thinking hands are really awesome. Tuned my banjo today with a few different tunes. Neat. Turn on, tune in, drop out. After the stream is over, I might. Ooh, okay, it's 7:06 right now for me, so I've got time for some Guild Wars. I may be able to play a bit of guitar, not much, although I think I want to Want to try out a few things on the Ibanez. It's an HSS setup, so I got the bridge humbucker. I would love to do that with my telly, but I bought a standard telly instead of a Telecaster Deluxe. So I'm gonna buy a Telecaster Deluxe sooner or later. It's gonna be Squire, so it's not gonna be anything fancy, but I'm gonna buy it. That way, I'm gonna have bootleg Les Paul going on. Hell yeah. But yeah, I'll probably have to tune that thing a bit.
You hear his voice, don't harden your heart.
Nice answer, Isaac. Really nice.
If death seizes upon you, there's no second chance. So, then please think about this with a sense of sobriety. Can I give you a book I've written called Scientific Facts in the Bible?
Okay.
I'm gonna set it on fire. Oh man, dude's got an Airbus A320 shirt on, bro. Oh, that's cool.
Do you have a Bible at home?
No, I don't.
I'm going to give you a Gospel of John, which is the 4th book of the New Testament. Okay?
He ain't gonna read it, Ray.
Well,
He ain't gonna read it, right? Oh, that's why we love you, Dan. You're a witty little snot. Just your perfect British wit.
And he gives away his material. I give away thousands of videos and books. We don't
Yeah, and then you sell others for $100. Come on.
donate my videos to prisons.
I donate my videos to prisons. He's getting all fucking flustered.
You're in it for the money, Dan. We know that. It's obvious. Watch your shows, okay? But we're not. We're in it for the souls. I don't know how you just don't get it. Good freeze frame right there. Perfect. I got to save that one. Okay.
Well, I don't know about you, but that has shocked me to my core.
I believe it. If you have a core at all, yes. Okay.
So, here's a thought I've had, is that I'm a rock and metal guy. But again, my rock end of things allows me to appreciate single coils. But there's a certain point where, the noise becomes an issue when you go into higher gain. And I'm the kind of guy who wants to switch between, high gain, low gain stuff. For me being rock and metal, I'm also very Nirvana inspired. So a lot of that contrast between near clean edge of breakup to outright hell breaking loose. And with a telly, you get too much noise. So I thought about maybe upgrading it's a Squire Telecaster, maybe upgrading it to Fender noiseless pickups, which again would be expensive. But then it's like, well, there might be some physical incompatibilities because it's going to be intended for the proper Fender, like professional series and such. And then I should probably play one of the Ultimate Telecasters or Ultimate Series up at Guitar Center or something to get a feel for how they'd actually sound in a high gain situation. Would I still have the single coil sound, but with all that extra oomph, or would it be a little more humbuckery? But then again, should I also just go straight for humbuckers if I want a Telecaster that badly and get a Telecaster Deluxe? But I don't like the Tele Deluxe's control and pick layout. I like the stock Telecaster design, but just with double humbuckers, neck and bridge. So I don't know, And I mean, I could get something else, but I'm really big on it being properly Fender insofar as Fender/Squire, Ibanez, or if I was to go Gibson/Epiphone, that being native to the original companies that made these styles rather than other stuff like Ibanez. I consider, it's very Strat-esque, but it's still its own thing. I hope that makes sense. It isn't like I want a boutique Les Paul copy or something. I'd rather have the actual thing, even if it's actually not going to be as good, because I'm just weird like that. If I want another company's guitar, I want it to be what it is and not look like, I don't want one that looks like a Telecaster. I want whatever they want to make. If I want a Telecaster, I'll just buy a Telecaster. Just knock some stuff down. Okay, it just bumped into my Strat. Yeah, guitar talk. I could do a lot of that. Not that I'm super knowledgeable on stuff. I'm just weird like that, though. It's just personal preference. I don't know. I'm a big fan of the 5 Watt World YouTube channel for guitar stuff. So if that gives you a clue as to how I think on stuff, yeah, even though I have a lot more than, instruments than I necessarily need, It's the idea. And as you see with my telly, trying to maximize by having the one telly that can sort of pull off both rather than going for the two. Because, as an example, a Telecaster Deluxe is basically Fender's version of a Les Paul. So, why don't I just get an Epiphone Les Paul? You know, I mean, scale link's slightly different. Not that that's a problem for me. Oh, no. This is why you come to my streams, because we could be watching a Hovind video, and next thing you know, I'm going to go in and talk about guitars or old phones or who knows what. Y'all never know what's coming on these streams, and that's the funnest stuff of all. Oh my God, the stream's been going for almost 2 hours. Let's keep going.
I would love it if
And yes, Unforgiven's probably my favorite Metallica song. That and ironically, Motor Breath. I cannot play that to save my life. Way too intense.
one day Ray Comfort tried interviewing me. Just love it.
I'll interview you, Dan. Come on my channel. 855 Big Dino.
There we go. Big strong Hovind doing the Can't no one's insulted by you. We're all grown adults here. Your mockery has no value here.
Dino extension 4, tech support at drdino.com. We will book you to have a debate or just a discussion. We'll interview you. Tell me why you've chosen to believe you are related to a snail.
Yeah, if I really go into some of the begin to go into higher end instruments, definitely gonna go for like a made in Mexico Tele Deluxe. I think would be ideal. Although, if I really do want to put the most bang for my buck, I probably would actually end up going for some kind of Ibanez that's got a double humbucker setup. Primarily because I know I can get the action low on those. I can't quite get the action the way I want on my tellies. Like, it's good for the telly, but it's not good for a lot of the stuff I want to play in a high gain situation. So that's kind of a concern, but also I'm doing these things myself. I haven't done fret leveling, anything like that. I don't have the tech. I don't have the skills. It's all been just basic action adjustments. But I still get stuff within ranges that people have said are pretty dang good. So the Ibanez, I mean, I need to change out the pots in it. Like, it was either bad from the factory or the original owner did not take care of it, because it's a little scratchy all around. But at the same rate, it works a treat. It's an SA260. I got it for like less than half of what it costs new, or even on the used market now. Yeah, love that guitar. I have a soft spot for Telecasters though, so I don't know. P90s, I've never played P90s properly. I really do need to give them a go. Yeah, there's some beautiful pickups though, from what I have heard. And actually, yeah, fun fact, I consider myself actually a bassist properly, but I just happen to play a lot of guitar. So, yeah, something different. They aren't P90s. Okay, well, P90 style. There's the Fender full range pickups. Those are A type as well. I was wondering about those. Nobody knows who Kent until people like me covered him. Yeah, I wouldn't know about Ken Hovind until Logic to cover him. 3 hours until MC Tune goes live. He's having Diaper Dinosaur on. By that time, I'll be asleep. That's the thing. I'm going to be asleep sooner than later. Ibanez Art Core, nice. Gotten great tone and setup out of it. Honestly, I want an Ibanez Gem, one of the classic, Gem series. I love the handle on it. It's so ridiculous, but I'm just like, that is so cool to have. Stupid, totally stupid. Yet, crazy like a fox, stupid like a Steve Vai. I don't know. It's just so ridiculously perfect.
Why have you chosen to believe something so stupid?
Okay, bro, have you tried to carry a guitar around? Having a handle on the guitar itself is just freaking awesome. You shouldn't need it much, but the idea that you can just sort of hold onto it at your side and maybe to set it in the case, that's pretty awesome, rather than having to hold it the way you traditionally did a guitar. See, if you had any talents, Kent, you would know that holding a guitar can be sometimes a little awkward when you need to do something with it. And having a handle on there somehow works out kind of well.
And thank you for sharing Ray Comfort's gospel on your channel. Thank you.
I'd love that too. If you're ever in Southern California, just north of...
Yeah, see, that right there. Even Ray Comfort understands that having a handle on a guitar, as silly as it sounds, is actually kind of cool, and he'd love to have one too. So Ray Comfort and I can agree on something.
Disneyland would love to host you for lunch and show you around our studios. I'd be honored to meet you. This tract is called Ticket to Heaven. It says if you don't need a ticket to heaven, tear this up if you can. And then it has places where you can put your thumbs so you can try and tear it up. But it's made of untearable paper. And on the back, it has the gospel. You get these at livingwaters.com.
Am I trying to rip this? Well, it says if you don't need the ticket to heaven, go ahead and rip it. Okay, so should we try to rip it? You don't need the ticket?
That must have been Dan there. He doesn't need that ticket. He's trying to tear it up. Was that you, Dan, in that?
Kent looking over to the side is him getting prompts from his boss. All this time, he's just been the face, the puppet. The real boss fight has yet to reveal itself. Good point, my herpetologically inclined friend. Yay, I remembered the word. I had to remember because I always used to joke about the snakes being the herpaderps. Ray Comfort thinks the banana was created by God with a handle. Why not the guitar? Good point. Take out a pair of scissors, exactly what I was thinking. Tomato.
He didn't show the face. Sounded like him, though. A British accent. Anyway, look at
Pretty awesome, huh?
There we go. Kent unable to tell voices apart. Oh, everyone with a British accent is Simon Dan. Everyone with a Welsh accent is a creaky blind man. Everyone with the very classy particular English accent, different from Dan's, is Emma Thorne.
You guys need it.
maybe you need it. Yeah, what's it say?
Living waters.
Yeah, except you made it out of untearable paper. So you do it as kind of a trick, like maybe you need it. It's like, maybe you made it out of untearable paper and you're a freaking prick.
Exists as a non-profit ministry to help you grow in your faith. Here are 3 things to help you do just that.
All right. You can call livingwaters.com out in California. So, Dan, open challenge anytime. Matter of fact, all you atheists, anywhere in the world.
Oh, yeah, like Yen said, this is as a matter of fact. Okay, Kent, how about you go seek debates from people instead of making them all seek it from you? I will once again say that while I'm not interested in debating you, if you were to come to me, if your representatives were to desire something, and they actually actively did something other than call Life 55 Big Dino, making me do the work, because I don't give a fuck, then maybe, with my set of stipulations, I'd take you up on it. Otherwise, you are the only chicken here. Hovind.
I just typed in world's most famous atheist and got a long list of them. I'm not afraid of any of them. I'll take any of them on. Tell them to call me. What happened?
Yeah, let me tell you, my Buck 110 versus that ticket's going down, baby.
Happened to Mr. Nelson, calls himself the sun god, R and Ra. Debate you again anytime. I think
You never finished the first one, you dumb shit.
it's Larry or Lawrence or something like that.
No, his name is Aaron Ra.
Anytime. Tell you what, you got your atheist club meeting in, what is it, someplace South Texas, San Antonio or something, Austin. I will come debate all of you at your location. If I get half the time, there's no interrupting, one topic at a time, and no cursing
Huh? What the fuck is he talking about? Sorry, I needed to interrupt him to double check. And oh, is he complaining about fucking profanity? Well, fuck me sideways.
and swearing. If you guys can do that, come on. I'll take the whole atheist club.
I don't know. Can you go 5 minutes without being a condescending prick? Self-entitled jackass, self-righteous fuckwhore? Can you do that, Kent?
Club on. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? I think so. Yeah. And keep in mind, I have degrees from a non-accredited school. I'm easy picking.
God, he's a fucking middle school bully with this.
Bring it on, guys. I'm not afraid of any of you. Okay. Questions or comments, and we'll quit for the night. This is Mango Wiki Kiwi Bagel. Wow, Mango Kiwi. have a Bible question. John 5:4, King James says, I saw it removed, verse 4. Why particularly that verse? Why the need to remove this specific information? I don't remember that, don't have memorized that particular one, but as far as why.
Huh, so you mean it's not the inerrant word? And something was changed even in that translation? Wow, they left out a part? Kent, it's almost as if this person has a possible point. I haven't verified this point, but big if true.
You better use the King James. That's one example. We have all kinds of books on the King James and why you should stick with the King James. God promised he would preserve his words. Psalm 12:6 and 7. He promised he would preserve it. I think he did in the King James. I can't find a single mistake in mine. No contradictions, no errors. All the new.
Little does Kent know the real truth is in the Book of Chris, now available for $9.99.95 over at the corner. You got to meet me there after 10 o'clock. And don't bring any cops. All right? Last guy who brought cops, he didn't like it very well. Because I sent him up the river. And by that, I mean he drove back to Missouri with a copy of my book. And the cops being like, why the fuck were we brought here? And I had to explain to him that I do weird things because I'm a weird person. And they were like, well, that's weird, but it's not illegal. And so I bid them good day, even though at that point it was midnight. And then I realized, oh shit, I got to get to work. So I got some sleep, went to work, and did a half-ass job, which is more work than Kent put in ever. Or something like that. I don't know.
New Bible versions have lots of mistakes in them. Tell you what, just read the first verse in your Bible. Does it say, in the beginning God created the heaven, singular, or heavens, plural? If it says heavens, plural, throw it away. It's heaven, singular. One letter on the seventh word. Interesting. Maybe there's something significant about the number 7 in the Bible. Anyway, look up Acts 8:37 in your new NIV. Good luck on that one. I cover it with King James on many times I've done that. We covered it on video number 7 in my seminar series, Creation Seminar Part 7, Why You Better Use the King James. It took me probably 8 months as a new Christian to get dragged into the King James camp, but I've read and studied it a lot, and that's where God preserved his word. Okay? Hope that helps. Any other question? Ivan, if you don't accept evolution, how do you explain what happened to buffalo wings? I've never thought of that.
Oh, we pull out an old Boxy line here. Yeah. Taking you all the way back to the days of Boxy. You strolling.
Billy, how do you explain buffalo wings? That's a tough one. I'll have to do some research on that one. Well, thank you. Do these evolutionists, atheists sleep better knowing it's the night supposedly after they die they have nothing to look forward to? That's a good one. Does it feel good thinking morals are relative and there's no purpose? If morals are relative, you got to be careful with those guys because they might think it's okay to steal and rob and punch you in the gut.
Oh, no. That's religious people you got to worry about doing that. That's preachers you got to worry about doing that kind of stuff.
And take your wallet. Yeah. How do you tell right from wrong, Dan? Where's the standard for right and wrong? You have to borrow from Christian standards.
No, you guys borrowed from an innate, evolutionarily derived semi-standard that humanity came up with as a side effect of us being social animals. Really well understood, well documented, and you just go nuh-uh as you do everything because that's all you can do.
Don't you? Mm-hmm. Any more?
Yeah, one more. It's just come in on Rumble. It says, when Jesus said if someone hits you on the one cheek, you should give him the others, was it realistic or a metaphor?
When Jesus said when someone strikes you on one cheek, turn the other one, that's a tough one. There people have written books on that one. It doesn't say what to do after that, though. Okay? Then you turn his other cheek. That's my humble opinion. Don't know. Okay, thank you.
The kinds of stupid shit Kent focuses on.
For joining us. See you tomorrow. Open mic. You atheists, call all your atheist friends. Call into this channel, 7 o'clock Central Time, on all the different channels that we're on, Rumble and Twitter. Let me go back to the home page if it'll do it. No, it's going back to the wrong one. There. Okay. Home. Okay. Never mind. Call 855 Big Dino extension 3. call into the show tomorrow night, atheists, here's your chance. Prove me wrong. I'm going to start off by saying evolution is the dumbest and most dangerous religion in the history of the world. Prove me wrong. Try it tomorrow night. See you then. Bye.
And there we are, done with Dr. Dumbass. I wonder, will this actually pick up? I don't know, I'm just fucking around. I'll just end with a power chord, because I don't really have anything else to say or do. Yeah, I just felt like doing that. I decided I'd tune the guitar since we were talking about tuning earlier. Ibanez needed it. But yeah, I'm actually probably going to practice a little bit, just mess around with some stuff. Just have some fun, do whatever. And by practice, I mean literally just play random crap. Yeah, thanks for watching. Can't believe I managed to milk 2 hours out of this one. Y'all are the best. As always, much love. Oh, hey, got people asking about Discord. Yeah. Let me share that. I'm going to put my usual 30-minute timer on this one. Let Discord load up because my dinosaur of a computer, it takes a while. I'll just... I don't know. Okay, there we go. That loaded. Let me click here. Come on. There you go. Good computer. Don't act like a piece of crap. I want to create invite. Discord is just ridiculously bloated as a program. I mean, it has some interesting features. I say that like, oh yeah, some interesting features, but it's just something else though. Like it's just a beast to run. All right, boom. There is. Why didn't you look? Come on, Discord, don't do this. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, here you go. You got a whole 30 minutes on that one, and I don't know. Hang on, let me go with single coils. I don't know. I suck. Yeah. I'm gonna fuck around with my guitar, play some Guild Wars, then go to sleep. Tomorrow's Friday. Got the weekend ahead of me. We're gonna probably have some fun over the weekend. As always, much love. I will catch everyone next time.